So what I have generally seen is there are two kind of people. One is a company who has their own tech employees in whatever technology that they are working on, and second, the company who do not have technology employees or tech employees, and they have probably outsourced this to somebody or maybe built it, or they are using some ready-made SaaS based products. Now we have to figure out if somebody wants to build a product, digital product. Both the scenarios we'll have to put some light on. So let's put some light on the person who already has tech company, employees or tech team, and what they should be doing. What are their options of doing the discovery phase?
Yes. So in my opinion, again, if there's a company who already has a tech team, right? There are pros and cons. And they'll be in both the scenarios. The pros are obviously you have team on hand. You can be doing R&D continuously. The cons are we don't know what technology they work on. It could be that they work on a certain technology, but the product that you're setting out to build needs a different kind of technology that you don't have in-house as a skill set. But when we talk about a company with an internal tech team doing discovery phase, their options are, again, they have the pros come into the picture, right? They have endless opportunities because before they engage, say, with an outsourced company or a separate tech firm to actually build the product, they have enough time to keep ideating and follow a proper step-by-step process in the discovery phase to actually build out the prototypes that they need to. Because in the discovery phase, everything is a prototype. We are not building. We're not, like, if we talk in technical terms, we are not yet coding, right? We are just, say, doing things in Figma or Adobe. So things are very fluid, very simple to move things around. As I said, if you have a tech team internally, there are pros and cons. And doing an ideation phase or a discovery phase with an internal tech team, there are pros and a lot of more of pros than cons, because you have endless opportunities in terms of how much time you can be spending on it. There's probably lesser investment because you have an internal team. You can keep ideating on or iterating on your prototypes that you have built. So the output actually refines a lot more. But you tell me, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so I think that if you have a tech team who is in-house, they have the tunnel vision. Okay, so they are in the domain. They are developing the products in the domain. So if you tell them to do something innovative, if you tell them to do a discovery phase, they'll be able to do it, but they would be having the tunnel vision. My recommendation would be you do it with your team, but as well as get a third party involved. Probably a third party team, maybe 2-5 people who will do in conjunction with your team. Your team has the expertise of domain expertise, as well as this new team who have the fresh ideas, who have probably cross domain expertise. They come into the picture. They collaborate with your team and form a small little unit which works on discovering the idea that you want. Now I think in this phase, the external team or the contracted team that you have brought into the picture, they also will be equipped with tech skill set, which is not what your team already has. Probably, maybe your team works on a tech which is a legacy tech because they have been using it for quite a while. And this new team who comes onto the board, they might be having, or they should have, they should have expertise in the latest tech trends. They should know what deployments are going on now, what kind of architectures are there, what kind of robustness can you build in tech. That way, I feel you'll be able to build a product which is discovered well in terms of technology as well as in terms of the business idea. So that is something that I feel. What do you think on having a collaborative team?
I think you make a very, very good point. And I probably didn't think about it like that, because absolutely, as I said, there are pros of having an internal team, but the biggest con would be the tunnel visioning. And you don't want that. If you are setting out to ideate a new product, you need endless opportunities. Basically, everything needs to be open. You need all the ideas that can come in. And that is what an external team can bring in to the picture. As you said, they have different sort of technology they have exposure to different sorts of technology. They have a different sort of skill set.
Yeah.
The output would be much more refined and cleaner, and maybe even probably better than purely working with an external team. Because if you think about it, there's the external team which is bringing all the external expertise that you want, but there's the internal team that knows the business in and out.
Correct.
And both of them working collaboratively could actually give you a very, very good output, and probably a very successful output as well. But again, we are building products.
Okay, so I think now that we discussed is for the tech, for a company who already has a tech team. Let's discuss about a company who has no tech team and is outsourcing it. So let's discuss what would be the process of discovering your idea when you are outsourcing it to an external contractor, external software development vendor.
Yes. I think there are a lot of companies out there probably don't have the scale of having an internal tech team to start with as well. So they would have to go out to an external tech team. And that's probably a very right thing to do as well. I mean, you engage with a very good team that actually brings your idea to life. They know the processes that you need to follow to actually work through the whole discovery phase, because discovery phase is a very step-by-step process. It's not, we are discovering. It's not like that. It is a process that we follow, right? So the external team that's coming in has that knowledge or the expertise. But what misses over there is we still need somebody to bring in all the experience and all the information about the business. So it becomes very important in a scenario like that it's a very collaborative approach between the two teams. It is not, and whenever, because when you are ideating the vision, say the business owner is doing it himself or herself, right? When you're building the product, the tech team is building the product for you because they have the spec to build it. At that stage, you don't have a lot of involvement. But the discovery phase is one where both the parties need to be very heavily involved. And the business needs to be, as I said, bringing all the right stakeholders and everything into the picture. And the tech team needs to be bringing all the processes and systems you should be following to actually have a successful output.
Got it. So, what I feel is when somebody is outsourcing their discovery phase to an external vendor, one thing that they'll have to keep in mind is they should have one single point of contact from their side who will be facilitating the whole thing.
Yes.
And this point of contact, which is their in-house point of contact, would also have internal team who is equipped with the business side of things at least.
Yes.
Who can understand the business aspect of the vision that we are trying to create here, of the product that we are trying to build here, and then efficiently convey that to the tech team.
Yes.
So that is one thing that I feel is a must. Now I want to focus. What are the factors that we should a company should consider before outsourcing their discovery phase to any external contractor? Now, if the external contractor has already worked in this domain, say for example, the company is an insurance company. If an external contractor has already worked in insurance domain, do you think that should be one of the criteria to work on something like this discovery? Because by the nature of it, now that he has worked in this domain, the pros are that he already has a lot of information about this domain, but the cons are that he might be affected with the tunnel vision. What is your take on it?
I think I'm a little bit agnostic on this one, because we could, yes, absolutely. There are pros and cons when we talk about say onboarding a third party vendor who's going to be doing the ideation for us, and we know that they have worked in the similar domain in the past. Yeah, there are pros that they maybe know a bit more. They would have a bit more information against somebody who hasn't worked in the domain. But they could only, as you said, they could think from a tunnel vision point of view that what they did in the previous project is the same problem over here, and they would try to apply the same solutions, and those things will start coming into the picture. So I feel, but as I said, again, it's more, I'm agnostic, and because it's it's also that we don't know. It's more on the kind of team and the kind of energy that's coming into the picture, right? The kind of synergy you're creating with the potential tech team. It could be that they have worked in the similar sector for a long time with multiple clients, but the way they do things or the way they approach a particular project is completely like as a new project. They don't want to bring in information from the past one. Yes, they want to bring in learnings and everything from past projects, but that's again, learnings are not only from the same domain, right? So it's a very it would be a fairly difficult question to answer that it's a yes or a no, because it's not. It's more, in my opinion, it's more about the team that you're engaging with and what kind of approach they take with projects. And then it wouldn't matter if they've had experience in the domain or they don't have experience in the domain.